Hi, this is Gizmo First, coming today in a far less edited, polished format, but this is kind of what I tend to do when something like a roadmap drops or we're discussing news which has come up. So I know there's a lot of news come down recently. Bethesda launcher is on its way out, welcoming in Steam. There are some implications of that in terms of Server 76, which I've been covering a lot recently, but that'll be something for a different video today. I really want to get into the 2022 roadmap. I have made a decision today to be positive because I believe it is a positive thing. But before we crack on with that, I just wanted to review 2021 and have a look at what came, what didn't come, what was pushed back. Okay, so we got legendary crafting in 2021. We got legendary power armor. Alright, and we got the special loadouts. We got the daily apps expansion one, and obviously the very controversial and divisive worlds. Okay, so things that they started to go a bit awry from there, and people were defending Bethesda and saying that roadmap isn't set in stone, and yeah, I get that and I agree with it, but you know, this 4-star legendaries here never came about, and I don't think we'll take a closer look in a minute. I don't think it's actually on 2022 either. So either they've scrapped this idea as being too difficult to implement amongst everything else, or it's going to be like one of those things that slips in when they think they've got it ready, which I tend to think is going to be the case. Seasonal event, the Ritual, which obviously was the Mothman event, which came. Invaders from Beyond, Public Challenge, and Daily Ops surprises never came. Right, so most of winter last year was barren. Nothing really happened. Right, let's face it. Mothman Equinox was a reskin of any number of other events. So, and it looks like Invaders from Beyond is going to be much of the same. I've seen a lot of people. I didn't bother with the PTS this season. I usually do a PTS live stream, or do some, something on the PTS. I didn't do it this time because I saw enough on other people's streams and channels to tell me what I needed to know, which I already kind of thought was true, that the Invaders from Beyond was going to be another reskinned Mothman Equinox experience. And actually I wanted to wait till it drops to be part of the people that get a surprise. I'd love it to be awesome, and obviously there's still time for it, so let's see what's going to be coming up. 2022 is in full swing, and that means after another exciting year in Fallout 76 lies ahead. Between dealing with visitors from another planet, trekking outside Appalachia's borders, this one of course is the most important thing for people at the moment, visiting and traveling, a traveling roadshow and more. Lots of travel will be coming through the area. Good thing we've got a roadmap. Okay, I like that introduction. Okay, so Invaders from Behind, new public events, Fallout Worlds update. They've said, they touched on this before, basically there are going to be ways to earn score in Fallout Worlds. This is something that people were moaning about, and I was moaning about as well. I'm going to be completely honest. You couldn't progress using Fallout Worlds, so it felt like, okay, neat, this, that, and the other, but why would I do it? Honestly speaking, Worlds doesn't talk to me at all. Even when I have a Fallout First subscription, 8 people on the server is not going to do it for me. If I wanted to start, like, let's say a PvP server with 24 people running around murdering each other, I can't do that. So we'll see where it goes from there, but let's have a look how this, if this increases the amount of people that find some kind of justification for visiting Fallout Worlds. As far as I'm aware, it's only going to be the fact that you can earn score from doing events, but maybe there will be daily events which you have to go into Fallout Worlds to do. That could be interesting. That would get me to play and experiment a little bit more. Season 8, A Better Life Underground. I'm interested in this, actually, and if this means that they're going to make kind of like a Fallout shelterish thing inside of Appalachia, I'm for it. I don't have any reason to build. I used to enjoy building. I was never one of those hardcore builders like General Germania, if he's watching, hello. But I do like building. I find it relaxing and different stuff like that. I would love to see an underground city base where we've got a list of NPCs at the moment which we could drop in camp, but you can only have one at a time. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you could like populate your vault and do something with that. That would be absolutely great. Summer, test your metal. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Hey, put your armor, weapons, and grit to the test in multiple new heart-pounding public events. Now, I hope this is correct, because I hope it's true, rather, because the public events at the moment are getting old. There are a few that I always play because I really like them. Line in the Sand. I actually like as well. Oh, the one of the... it's been a long day. Sheep Squatch at the end of it. Free range. There we go. And there are a few that I will always do when they come up. But others are kind of, you've been doing them for 2 or 3 years. What's the point, right? So, Fallout First scoreboard upgrades. I think that's well called for. I don't think people get... After they've been on Fallout First for a couple of years, it's no longer worth it like it was when you first started, right? So, new public events. Fallout First... upgrades, scoreboard, that could be cool. Season 9, stay tuned. I would like to see in the scoreboard at some point new daily challenges, things that are not like, okay, do an event a day, kill a legendary creature a day. I'd love to see them get a bit more creative with that, because it is seriously getting old. Fall, this is one that everyone's been waiting for. Expeditions the Pit. Venture beyond the boundaries of Appalachia. Okay, now before we get too excited about this, I did another video at some point which covered an interview which was given that says the Pit is going to be a daily repeatable event. This is Bethesda talking, so it's not my extrapolation. I don't know if it's going to be the thing that everybody says it's going to be. I saw a couple of tweets going around saying that Bethesda had better get, the Pit had better be perfect, because they've been, by the time it releases, it will have been in production for about between 12 and 18 months. You can make an entire game in that time. So people are not going to be forgiving if it's bad. So introducing missions, that ties in directly with the Pit. New rewards, I imagine maybe new weapons are coming in. And Season 10, stay tuned. Worthy of note here, maybe I'm blind, pointed out to me if I don't see it. 4-star legacies, 4-star legendaries are not on the roadmap. New world on tour. I don't think anybody saw this coming. The fizziest show on Earth. Okay, let's take this one with a pinch of salt, shall we? Because depending on what happens when, their new IP drops in November, that will very much affect how much time they have to put into Fallout 76. If that takes off and they need to, or if it takes off and is buggy as hell, let's say that Starfield comes out, it's nice but it's really buggy and they need to fix it, which is, let's say it's the standard right now for AAA games, they'll again need to take people from this to go over there, so we might not see Nuka World on tour this year. But new public events, again, a region boss public event, so we're talking like Scorch Beast Queen, forgive the footsteps behind me there, my dog just coming in to say hello, talking another Earl, right? So that's something we've all been wanting for a while. I think we should be looking at 2 or 3 region boss public events at this point, but I'll take one. Let me put it this way, if this actually looks like quite a nice roadmap for the year, I know 4-star legendaries at the moment are not on there, but to be honest with you, did we really need 4-star legendaries? Because there's not much to kill in the Wasteland that we can't kill with what we have already, so whatever the next star is, I don't think it's going to help with the game in general. This kind of stuff is going to help. One thing that we want to see, which I don't believe we're going to see. Sorry. I don't believe... Jeez, I'm sorry. I don't believe that we're going to see this year, maybe not even, maybe never again in the game. I don't think we're going to see DLC story content. Where every other Bethesda or ZeniMax title is dropping story mode DLC. The big one everyone always brings up is Elder Scrolls Online. They've just released another DLC and we're getting invisible backpacks, right? Yeah. So anybody hoping that Fallout is going to be dropping any story DLC, the Pit will have a story, and they've said it's going to have a story and a lore. If it's a daily repeatable, I'm interested to see how that can be considered story. It could be considered lore, but I'm not sure how it's going to affect story during your time in Appalachia. But I'm going to remain tentatively positive and say this is a good thing in general, although I do get a lot of people say there's disappointment that there's no story DLC on here, okay? The Invaders from Beyond, people thought might lay the foundation, because it was on the Yeah, Tales from the Stars has now become Invaders from Beyond, but they hoped it would lead to some kind of story DLC that maybe, you know, the new enemies and stuff which will come from this will lay the foundation for new DLC, similarly to what how they introduced the Brotherhood storyline, however short that was. But we could see after Invaders from Beyond, there's no other mention of this going forward. So I would not hold your breath if you're expecting some DLC story, but if you're expecting new rewards, if Fallout First members are expecting some changes and some juggle ups, new public events could be cool. People who play Fallout Worlds, you're now going to be able to earn score at the same time as building in your private world, because let's face it, most Fallout Worlds players are builders. Then you should be happy. You should be happy for the year. I'm tentatively happy, but I also have the prospect of, you know, Server 76 coming up, which for me is a lot more interesting at the moment. But let's be cautiously optimistic going forward. This is Gizmo First. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.